and to establish a left-wing government with socialist policies.
Thank you, Deputy Murphy. Deputy Smith, you've just over 4.5 minutes.
Deputy Fitzpatrick, I think that's your name, isn't it? Yeah, I really do want to compliment you on your honesty, because you really tried to lash us out of it and say that you actually don't agree with the move of your minister, which is to freeze the charges. You don't agree, and you believe that everybody is very happy to recycle and that there shouldn't be a problem, and that we're creating imaginary problems because we don't want to be positive on anything, we're just negative on everything. And I think that's the real sentiment of Fianna Gael. And indeed, I noticed the colour of your shirt is a deep blue, where the colour of your colleague's tie below is a very pale blue. The people who speak nice to us and try to tell us, Deputy Smith, I actually agree with you. Deputy Smith, I was delighted when you brought this to my attention because blah, blah, blah. And indeed, the kowtowing or the cow-and-towing of the colleagues from Fianna Fail was quite similar. All very nice, all very polite gentlemen, all talking to the gentlemen, so-called, in the waste management industry and getting on very well with them and getting agreements with them that they would freeze things and that they wouldn't touch us and that they do this, that and the other. And I think it probably is because you know these gentlemen in the waste management industry a little bit more than personally, that there's relations of whatever sort, political, stroke, financial, economic, that go between the major parties
that sort of allegation,
and
Deputy,
industries.
that allegation is not appropriate.
I'm just thinking aloud.
Well,
I'm just thinking aloud. I'm not making an allegation, I'm thinking aloud.
It's not appropriate to make that sort of allegation.
It's not appropriate to make it, but I'm thinking aloud here. And I just want to say that really what you are asking us to do is to adopt the spirit in which these godfathers of the waste management industry have spoken to you. But I'm sorry, that's precisely why we have this motion down, because we don't believe in spirits. We believe in legislation, and we believe in legislation that will curtail the profiteering of this industry, and in particular this industry. Because I want to just quote to you a strike that took place in 2014, not that long ago, by Greyhound workers. It was vicious. It was something like out of the lockout, where scabbing on a big level took place. People broke picket lines, a lot of violence was used, and the Greyhound workers who took strike action in order to defend the limited pay and conditions they had were bullied and intimidated. And what has resulted from that is that right throughout the waste management industry, and we've talked to some trade union organisers about this, you have workers working on very low paid contracts, working dangerous hours, and as we've already quoted today, some trucks are operating with two men usually, or generally speaking, instead of 3. When the Health and Safety Authority recommends 3, they're using 2. So I think there's a lot of questions to be asked about the industry, and the pay-by-weight introduction will increase the working day. It'll add an extra 80 minutes at least onto the working day. That'll be offloaded onto the workers who won't receive an extra penny for it because they work on a task basis. So I think there's a lot to be asked about this waste management industry, as many of the colleagues and deputies throughout have said. But I just want to finish by saying this. Somebody said something to me today and it stuck in my head. You know that song, The Great Pretenders? It's going in my head, oh yes, we're the great suspenders, because that's what this government is, the great suspenders. You're suspending every bloody thing since I came in here, and well done to you that you're getting away with it, but you're only getting away with it because the Fianna Gaelers on this side, I don't even think they're Fianna Failers on that side, are propping you up to the hilt. And as I said in this House when we started off, when was it, late February, March, why the hell don't the two of you just get together and run the country? Because there's no difference between you except the colour of your shirts. At this stage, that is all that exists. In principled, fundamental positions that you take in relation to the economy, in relation to workers, in relation to social welfare recipients, you're the very same. One last word to Peter Fitzpatrick. You asked about how do we think the councils would get the money. The local property tax, the hated local property tax, is where they get the money to run the service. That's where it should be coming from. And it was revealed today that 86,000 social welfare recipients had the LPT taken from them by revenue already this year. Now, the bitterness that this government is sowing into people who can least afford to pay all of your cell taxes, your local property taxes, your bin taxes, and you've already seen the reaction to the water taxes. You've got to learn at some point that the ordinary Joe and Josephine soap have risen, and they're not going to continue to take it.
Time has elapsed.
That's why you're the great suspenders, no other reason.
Thank you very much.